Allahumma yassir wa la tu'assir. All right, let's continue here in Bahjat An-NaDHar. We're on question 41. The author says, speak about the day of judgment, or you could say judgment day. Uh, my answer for this question is to say, we must believe in judgment day. Judgment day starts when the angel blows his horn a second time and the people come out of their graves. And it lasts for 50,000 years. It ends when the people of paradise settle in paradise and the people of hell settle in hell. When I say settle in hell, doesn't mean comfort. They won't be comfortable there. And the day of judgment has 50 stages. Each stage is 1,000 years long. Amongst the different stages of judgment day is the presentation of the deeds and other things. Yani, let me say it this way. Amongst the events of judgment day is the presentation of the deeds, hearing the speech of God. The earth testifies about what was done on it for you or against you. That's why when you pray Sunnah prayers, you pray in different spots, or even obligatory prayers, you can pray in different spots because the earth will testify for you. And many things that will happen on that day. On that day, the sky will crack, the earth will quake with its most severe quaking, the angels will appear, we will see them and interact with them. The deeds will be weighed and other things. That day is like processing, getting the slaves of Allah into paradise or hell. So that's my answer. Let's see what it says here. Answer, the day of judgment, al-qiyamah. Now, this word al-qiyamah means standing. The day of standing begins with the people leaving their graves. Yes, that's when the angel blows his horn the second time. And lasts until the people of paradise enter paradise and the people of hellfire enter hellfire. Yes, but it says enter. They're going to be entering paradise and hell throughout the time. It's not that judgment day is just 50,000 years and then when it's over, you go to paradise or hell. Rather, it's like processing. So people are getting into paradise and getting into hell while judgment day is happening. Until this processing is over, then judgment day will be over. That's why I said when the people of paradise settle in paradise and when the people of hell settle in hell. The length of this day is 50,000 years of what we count. Yes. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Ma'arij, verse 4, في يوم كان مقداره 50,000 سنة. During a day whose length is 50,000 years. Yes. Okay. So that's pretty much my answer too. I said a little bit more, but really this is what I would say. Maybe without reciting the ayah or maybe with reciting the ayah. If you have any question, go ahead, please. Question 42. Speak about the presentation of the deeds.
Sheikh,
Yes.
assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Maybe it's not the class, but I was asked, what's the language of the people of Hellfire?
I haven't heard that they have a language.
Okay. Okay. Barakallahu feek.
Ameen wa feekum. Speak about the presentation of the deeds. That's question 42. Now, this is an interesting question because this question here is following the way it's translated. Whereas the Arabic word is the hisab, as you can see, and the hisab has more than one interpretation itself. So here, according to the question, then hisab is interpreted as the presentation of the deeds. Hisab has another meaning, which is being questioned by Allah, hearing the speech of Allah and being questioned by Him. That's also hisab. So hisab here is interpreted as the presentation of the deeds. So how would I answer that? Speak about the presentation of the deeds. My answer is to say, on Judgment Day, we shall receive our books of deeds. In this life, there are angels recording everything we do. Yeah, I might start there. I might start like this. Yani, speak about the presentation of the deeds. So I'd say, uh, in this life, there are angels who record everything we do. Then, when we come back to life and are in attendance on Judgment Day, our books of deeds, which is the records of those angels, will be presented to us. Each one will get his own book. The believer will get his book in his right hand, the good believer, in front of him, and the kafir will get his book in his left hand behind his back. When the believer opens his book and reads it, he will be delighted. And when the kafir opens his book and reads it, he will be tormented. So that's what crosses my mind to answer this question. I could say more, but I'm trying to think of just a brief answer that's satisfying if someone were to ask me. So I think this is what I might say to someone. Let's see what the answer is here. So it says, answer, the presentation of the deeds is the presentation of each slave with his deeds. Yani, I, I find this sentence a little strange. Is for each slave to be presented with his deeds, Fa- holding them accountable, holding them accountable for that after they receive their records. Mm. So this paragraph here, I can sense that it's a translated paragraph. Yani, I know it's translated. The original question and answer booklet is in Arabic. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. But yeah, I find something a little bit odd in the in this paragraph in particular. But okay, so holding them accountable for that after they receive their records. Uh, I don't know what that sentence means. Yani, they're not accountable for it until they receive their records. When they come out of their graves at first and they didn't get their records yet, they're not accountable for those deeds yet. That's what that sentence means to me. I never heard about that before. So maybe this needs some explanation, and or we could take a look into the Arabic and see how it's worded in the Arabic. But I don't have it ready. Pull it up. I don't want to lose any more time. It says the believer will receive his record with his right hand, yes, or in, with or in. The blasphemer will receive it with his left hand or in his left hand from behind his back, yes. This record is the record that the two angels Raqib and Atid wrote and what one did wrote in. wrote wrote in okay. This record is the record that the two angels, Raqib and Atid, wrote in what one did in this life. Okay, I think what's supposed to say is clear for you there, inshallah ta'ala. So yeah, I think what's supposed to say is clear. Yeah, and what is the intended meaning there is clear. This record, this book of deeds, is what the two angels Raqib and Atid wrote. Yani, it is their documentation of the subject's life, the subject being the person. And this question mentions Raqib and Atid, their names. That's fine. I said the angels or some angels. I might not mention the names of those angels in this answer if I were answering this question for someone just to keep the information down. And then if a person were to ask me, do those angels have names? Then I'd say yes. Their names are Raqib and Atid. Then the answerer presents evidence from the Quran about this. That's not a digression since the question is open. Speak about it. It is relevant. And this typo here, though. Suratul Al-Inshiqaq, no Hamza there. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Inshiqaq, verses 7 through 12. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا. As for who was given his book in his right, then he shall be judged with an easy judgment. He shall have an easy reckoning. وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. And he turns to his family happy. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ وَرَاءَ ظَهْرِهِ. And concerning anyone who was given his book in his from behind his back. And concerning anyone who was given his book from behind his back, فَسَوْفَ يَدْعُو ثُبُورًا وَيَصْلَى سَعِيرًا. Then he shall cry out for his own destruction, and he shall be set ablaze in an inferno. Uh, it says this verse means, as for the one who is given his record in his right hand, and record's not a bad word here. We say kitab. This word kitab in Arabic is versatile. If what comes to your mind only from the word kitab is a book with a front cover, a back cover, and a spine down the middle, then broaden your horizon there. Kitab could be even just a letter that you wrote on a piece of paper to someone, or a scroll is kitab, or like that, a tablet, yani a computer could be a kitab. So how's this record? Because you think about it, how do the angels write down what you do, what you are doing? What does this mean? How do you see that? When you look into your book of deeds, what do you see there? You see words written there or what? Allahu alam. How is that? However it is, we believe in it. So it says, as for the one who has given his record in his right hand, he will be judged with an easy account. Okay, so I'm translating hisab as account here. He will be judged with an easy account. Yani his reckoning shall be easy. his questioning, his experience here will be easy. And he will return to his people in happiness. As for the one who has given his record behind his back, he will cry out for destruction and be thrown to the scorching fire. وَيَصْلَى سَعِيرًا. So, as for being thrown, I don't, yani, maybe. So, yasla means he will be put in fire and set ablaze. He will be put in fire and set on fire. Like, if you were at camp, for example, and there's a fire going on at the campfire, and you took a stick, if you put the stick in the fire and pulled it back out, it might not be caught on fire. But if you leave it in there long enough, it's going to catch fire. Now it's going to be on fire. That's the meaning of a soli. To put something in fire and then it catches fire. Yani, that's what I found in the dictionaries. That's why I usually say he will be set ablaze for something like that. Yasla. If you have a question, go ahead, please. Question 43. What is the meaning of reward and punishment? Thawab and adab. Answer. Reward. Here's my answer. The reward is the payment that the believer receives for his good deeds. The pleasing payment that the believer receives for his good deeds. And the adab, the torture or the torment or the punishment, those three words you could use: torture, torment, punishment. It is the bothersome payment that the slave receives for his bad deeds. Let's see what they have here. It says reward, thawab, is the compensation the believer receives in the hereafter for the good deeds. This compensation is pleasing to him. Punishment, adab, is what disturbs the slave in the hereafter as punishment for the sins he committed, such as entering hellfire, as well as less severe punishments. Okay, that's correct. There's a benefit here in this answer that I didn't draw attention to in my answer, which is that the torture has levels. There's the minor torture and the major torture. The minor torture, yani, the major torture is the torture of hellfire. The minor torture is any other torture. That includes the torture of Judgment Day and the torture of the grave. The torture of the grave is already on another level compared to anything, yani, that could be inflicted on you in this dunya. Very horrible things could be inflicted on the human being in this dunya. What might be done to someone? He could be put into an oven, for example. That's so horrible. He could be put into a vat of acid. Billah. All kinds of stuff could happen, could be done to a person. Yeah, maybe his all his limbs could be pulled apart piece by piece. Pull out his nails, pull out his teeth one by one, chop off all his pieces while he's alive. So I'm trying to think of worse things I can think of. The torture of the grave is worse than any of that. And that's minor torture. And the torture of Judgment Day, it includes the heat of the sun coming close to the heads of the people. Like Imagine that the sun is as close to your head as the ceiling over your head. Like literally. How horrible would that be? That's still the minor torture. So that tells you how severe hellfire is. Someone just sent me a PDF of the Arabic. What question was that? Question 42. Let's see here. تكلم عن الحساب. الحساب هو عرض أعمال العباد عليهم. So hisab says here, the presentation of the deeds is the presentation of each slave with his deeds. Okay, so الحساب هو عرض أعمال العباد عليهم. So this how it should be. Here, there says presentation of the deeds. Put the Arabic word here. Hisab. Hisab is for the slaves to be presented with their deeds. Something like that. وتوقيفهم عليها بعد أخذهم كتبهم. Holding them accountable to that after they receive their records. This word tawqif here, and it needs explanation. I can't speak about that. توقيفهم عليها. I'd like to just hear that to be explained. بعد أخذهم كتبهم فأما المؤمن فيأخذ كتابه بيمينه وأما الكافر فيأخذ كتابه بشماله من وراء ظهره. All that's translated fine. وهذا الكتاب هو الكتاب الذي كتبه الملكان رقيب وعتيد في الدنيا. This record is the record that the two angels Raqib and Atid wrote in this life. They wrote it in this life. Yani, when you die, the record is sealed. When you come back to life, it will be presented to you. Then the ayah is cited. All right. So this one needs a little bit of work. Barakallahu fikum. Thank you for that. All right. Question 44. Speak about the balance. My answer is we must believe in the balance, which is a scale on Resurrection Day, a scale whose shape is the familiar shape to us in terms of having a vertical pole and a horizontal beam going across and two pans for weighing one thing against the other thing, weighing something against the other thing. Balance is a good word here. I used to say scale a lot, but I think balance is better because balance, what's meant here is that one thing is weighed against the other thing. Scale doesn't necessarily mean you're weighing one thing against another thing, could be just weighing the thing itself. The good deeds, one pan is for the good deeds, one pan is for the bad deeds. If a person were a believer, this is still my answer. If a person were a believer, then his good deeds will be weighed against his bad deeds. Then you have three cases. Either his good deeds will outweigh his bad deeds. That means the pan of good deeds goes down, the pan of bad deeds goes up. Then he will be admitted to paradise with no torture. Or the bad deeds will outweigh the good deeds, then he is under the will of Allah. If Allah willed, Allah will punish him, and if Allah willed, Allah will forgive him. And the third scenario is that his good deeds and bad deeds are equal, then he will be made to wait on the wall while others enter paradise. He doesn't go into the hell, but he must wait while others enter paradise. He waits on the wall while others enter paradise, which bothers him. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Question. One who waits on the side while everybody else going to paradise. Say that one is going to paradise and the spouse of the other one is waiting on the wall. Does that one going to paradise have a feeling?
If you said if there were spouses, one of them is entering paradise and the other one is waiting on the wall,
Yes.
does the one who's entering paradise have a feeling?
Well, that one is waiting on the wall.
What do you? I don't know. I haven't heard.
I'm just asking because you said that one who's waiting on the wall will feel nervous,
Yeah, he feels bothered. Mm-hmm.
bothered.
Mm-hmm. But the one who's entering paradise, he's happy.
Yeah, he's happy, but
Yeah,
his spouse is still there. Maybe a
yeah,
believer. That's what I'm trying to say. You have a feeling now. You see his spouse.
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Uh,
I mean, what feet? With the people who are on the wall, they see the believers entering paradise. Their faces are like the moon. And they say to the believers while the believers are entering paradise, Assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah. And as for the blasphemer, he doesn't have any good deeds for the pan of good deeds, and therefore his pan of bad deeds will be heavy and go down, and the pan of good deeds will go up. I used to say a statement also, it's not a good statement here. I would say his bad deeds will outweigh his good deeds. He doesn't have any good deeds. So I rather would say his pan of bad deeds will outweigh his pan of good deeds. That's what the sheikh said. One time it clicked for me. I noticed how the sheikh worded it. So then I said, ah. So that's my answer for that there. And I see with my eyes here that says it's huge. I would mention that it's huge. Let's see what it says here. One must believe in the balance. It's called in Arabic mizan. Mizan. What did the sheikh say in Arabic, which is in As-Siratul Mustaqim? Now I don't remember the exact ibara, the exact phrase, but he said that the kaffa, the pan of bad deeds will outweigh the pan of the good deeds. He didn't say the bad deeds of the kafir outweigh his good deeds. He didn't say that. He says pan is heavier. One pan is heavier than the other pan. Yani the pan of the good deeds will be the light pan because there isn't anything there. So it says one must believe in the balance in which the deeds of the slaves are weighed on the day of judgment. It is a huge creation, yes, an enormous scale. It has a beam and two pans. All right, so that's pretty much my answer up till there. Then the answerer continues. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-A'raf, verse 8, وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقُّ. the weighing on the day of judgment is just. Yani, or is real. And there's other ayats also about this. The blasphemer will not have any rewards on the day of judgment. His bad deeds will be placed in one of the two pans. The believer, however, will have his good deeds in one pan and the bad deeds in the other pan. If his good deeds outweigh his bad deeds, he will be admitted to paradise without torture. If his bad deeds outweigh his good deeds, he is under the will of Allah. If Allah willed, he will forgive him. Or he may torture him and then admit him to paradise after that. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Qari'ah, فأما من ثقلت موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية وأما من خفت موازينه فأمه هاوية. Surah Al-Qari'ah. Surah Al-Qari'ah, verses 6, 7, and 8, and 9. They mean, as for the one whose scales are heavy with good deeds. How do we know it means the good deeds? The context makes you know. It just says, as for the one whose scales are heavy, then he shall be in acceptable living. So it means the good deeds here. He will be in a blissful life. فهو في عيشة راضية. راضية here means مرضية. Acceptable. Accepted. He will be in an acceptable life, which is a blissful life. But as for the one whose scales are light, it says, because of his blasphemy, so are light, because of his blasphemy in parentheses, or having no reward in parentheses. فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. He will be in hellfire. Okay. Now, here is not the spot to have to explain what ummuhu fa ummuhu hawiyah means in detail. It's fine here. He will be in hellfire. He will fall. One way to interpret it is he shall fall headlong, head first into an abyss. He shall fall head first. It means his head is down and his feet are up. Allahu Akbar. Into an abyss. Means very, very deep pit. فَأُمُّهُ, according to this tafsir that I just told you, ummuhu, that's his head. فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. It's falling down head first. Okay. And here does not mention the wall. This answer does not mention the wall. And I think that our lessons don't mention the wall a lot. A lot of brothers and sisters, they never heard of it. It's called Al-Araf. Not in our lessons. Also, I don't see it in the books. The books of Aqidah. Don't they say in the books of Aqidah, we believe in, you know, they say, and paradise is true, and hellfire is true, and judgment day is true, and the presentation of the deeds is true, and the scales are true, like that. So I never saw one that says, and the wall is true, for example. So for that reason, a lot of Muslims, they don't know about this Al-A'raf. I don't know if it's known in the religion by necessity. It's mentioned in the Quran though. Surah Al-A'raf, this surah. Some say it's a wall between paradise and hell. Some say it's the wall of paradise itself. Sheikh Nabil told us in an answer, it's the wall of paradise itself. In a question that he answered, it's the wall of paradise itself. Means probably that's what he took from the Shaykh, rahimahullah. They look to one side, they see the believers entering paradise. Their faces are like the moon. And they say, Assalamu alaikum. They look to another side, they see the people of hell. And they see the blackness of their eyes. Their eyes are black. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ تَعَالَى. And then they seek refuge with Allah from being amongst the people of hell. And they are hoping. They didn't enter paradise yet, but they are hoping. That's all mentioned in the Quran, Surah Al-A'raf. So there are some things that came in our religion that we do believe in, even though they might not be listed a lot of times when they list things we believe in. Like I also never saw in any of the books that they say, and the jinn are real. We believe in the jinn. Or that they say, and al-buq or as-sur, the horn, is real. That's the horn of the angel. What makes heavens and earth shatter into pieces? When the angel blows into the horn. So there's some things we still believe in beyond those things we usually mention that are mentioned famously in the books. Any last question? Yeah. The people of Al-A'raf, they give salam to the people of paradise as they enter. They are seeing the people enter paradise, so they give them a salam as they are entering. Let's see. Let me pull up the ayah for you. Ayah 46. Ayah 46 of Surah Al-A'raf. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وبينهما حجاب. Between them, between the two parties, there's a barrier. وعلى الأعراف رجال يعرفون كلا بسيماهم. And on the A'raf are men recognizing each group by their sign. ونادوا أصحاب الجنة أن سلام عليكم. And they call out to the people of the garden, peace be upon you. لم يدخلوها وهم يطمعون. Those ones on the wall, they have yet to enter. They have not entered paradise yet, and they are hoping. وَإِذَا صُرِفَتْ أَبْصَارُهُمْ تِلْقَاءَ أَصْحَابِ النَّارِ قَالُوا. And when their vision is turned, okay. And when their visions are turned towards the people of the fire, they say, رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْنَا مَعَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. Our Lord, do not put us with the unjust folk. ونادى أصحاب الأعراف رجالا يعرفونهم بسيماهم قالوا. And the people of the Araf, the people on the wall, they call out to some men that they recognize by their sign. قالوا ما أغنى عنكم جمعكم وما كنتم تستكبرون. They say all that you have amassed, yani nothing that you have amassed has availed you in any way. It does nothing for you. All of whatever you have amassed in the world, and your arrogance and your haughtiness has availed you not. أهؤلاء الذين أقسمتم أهؤلاء الذين أقسمتم لا ينالهم الله برحمة. They say to the people of hell, are those ones, the ones entering paradise, those are the ones that you swore that the mercy of God will not reach them? ادخلوا الجنة لا خوف عليكم ولا أنتم تحزنون. Enter the garden, you people of the wall. And now it's your turn. Enter the garden without fear and without grievance or grieving. ونادى أصحاب النار أصحاب الجنة. And then the people of the fire call out to the people of the garden. أن أفيضوا علينا من الماء أو مما رزقكم الله. Pour upon us some water or something that God has provided you. قالوا إن الله حرمهما على الكافرين. They say, indeed, Allah has made that forbidden for the blasphemers. So that's the Al-A'raf. Those are the ones whose good deeds and bad deeds are equal. Ameen, 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 and you too. Ameen. You're welcome. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك. You're welcome. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.